And you comply for free, they got the upper hand. Yeah. Buttons.
It's nice to have a little intro song, isn't it?
Exactly. Where was that done? Napster?
No, that one was done in Producer. But on the news this week, straight into the show. Welcome to the show. If you're new here, let us know whereabouts in the world you're tuning in from. Sorry, I haven't got my usual mic, so I'm going to sound a little bit rubbish this week, but that's another story for later in the show. But straight into the news, mate. MiniMax have produced a new music model. 2.5 it's called. Yeah, MiniMax Music 2.5. Had a go on it about an hour before the show. Genuinely impressed. It's not quite at the level of Suno and Producer AI, but it was like, whoa. They've come out with a pretty top 5 music model straight away, so that's pretty cool.
Wow, MiniMax is different. You know what? MiniMax is silently just getting on with stuff in the background, doing some really good projects. So yeah, it's really, really impressed with MiniMax.
Hey, here come all the comments. I'm going to put them on the stage. Hello, Winston from Atlanta. Love that track. Thank you, Anita. That's one of the ones that me and John, who's a collaborator of mine in the music space, put together. I'll send you the SoundCloud link if you remind me later. Sweden in the house. Looking forward to it, says Thomas. Let's go. Oakland in the house. New York City. The image of Chris and Andrew wearing the football uniforms. Yeah. I found out because here's a great little story, Miriam. I initially sent Andrew in the Patriots top and me in the Seahawks jersey. And he goes, mate, I've been a Seahawks fan since I was 5 years old. You need to swap those jerseys around. So congrats on the win, mate.
Yeah, you know what? It was a good win. We won it the other year as well. But when I was in primary school, my friend supported the Seattle Seahawks. So I said, all right, I'll support them as well. And supported them ever since. So yeah, it's just a random team when it comes to American football, especially at the time. There was the Chicago Bears was popular, and they had a player called the Fridge. I don't know if anyone remembers that player called the Fridge, the Chicago Bears. It was but I went for the Seattle Seahawks because my friend supported them, and it took 40 years for us to win, but we done it. So yeah.
Oh, it's nice to get a few in like recent years, isn't it? As a fan, as a Newcastle fan, I am. In my lifetime, I've never seen silverware, so we finally got something. Look at everybody tuning in. Hey, Sanders in the house. Let's go. Sorry if my mic sounds crap. You tuned in back on the week when my mic crapped out on me, mate. So I'm really sorry about that. Yeah. It was awesome to meet Dan, by the way. I just got back from the Chroma Awards in London, and Dan, spelled D-A-A-N, is apparently very close to where Sanders living in the Netherlands. And mate, he's amazing. He had a 10-person marketing agency. He sold that. He's now grown his own YouTube channel to 250,000 followers, and he's doing AI stuff. So we've got to have him on the show, do some sort of cross promotion with him or live stream, rebroadcast. Really, really cool guy. Hey, we've got Seb in the house as well. Let's go.
Hey,
what's going on? We've got Lara
from Lebanon. We've got Nigeria in the house. We got Jeddah, Saudi Arabia in the house.
Berlin in the building.
Berlin.
I'm loving it. Mate, this Seedance is killing me this week. I don't know if you've heard, but it's been released in a few different places and it's not really released. It keeps getting taken down, and they're thinking now it's going to be possibly the 24th that it's going to be in Dramina, which is the official Western place to use it. But then the Chinese have had it locally since the weekend. And the videos that are coming out onto social media are just absolutely bonkers. And do you know what it reminds me of straight away is, remember when we talked about Sora 2 and being able to put yourself in the video and how that will make it a lot more sociable friendly? Well, check this one out, mate. It looks like two people have just basically inserted their likeness into an action scene with them fighting each other. And I was blown away by this one. mental, isn't it?
That's crazy. Yeah, that's the one thing I've seen a lot on the Seedance is the fighting scenes, and they are just something
It seems
else.
particularly good at action.
Yeah, have you seen the basketball ones?
Yeah, the sport, the action, the fighting, the like intricate things. Let us know in the comments, guys, what you're seeing on your algorithm in terms of Seedance coming through. From what I hear, it was available in Byte Plus, which is kind of like one of those sources that had it temporarily, but then it got so clogged out that it was unusable, and we're still kind of waiting for it in Dreamina and everything like that. Frozen vibe, yeah, kind of Frozen if Frozen met an action sequence, yeah.
I was looking for it on Higgsfield and it wasn't there, and Free Pick, and I didn't see it. So.
Yeah, a lot of the aggregators don't have the API yet, and it's probably going to come out on the same day as Dreamina, which is the Western version, like I say, of Bytedance, which is the company that's made it. And yes, it's Seedance mentalness. Let us know what you've seen, Stu, is basically what I just asked. So you haven't missed anything, really, mate. We've only been live 5 minutes. Hey, what's going on, Evangela? Let's go. Thanks so much for tuning in. One of our featured artists here on the channel, mate. She makes the posts all of the time. She's doing great concepts, crossovers. Let's have a look at some more Seedance stuff, shall we? Because, yeah, I just grabbed a load of random clips, basically, because I've been away down in the Chroma Awards in London. So I didn't have that much time to showcase and grab stuff this week. So if you guys are seeing anything, generally try and send short clips so I can download them during the show. Nothing too long, because we had an issue last week where it was getting a bit of lag essentially when I was trying to upload and download at the same time. So just short clips if you've seen them as Seedance examples. This one I saw as an example. I've got Billy Bowman's. Thanks, Miriam. That's a great one. I did manage to grab that one just before the show. So that is a great example. If anyone's seen anything like Billy's, that would be great. This one I saw from Stefan, who is somebody that I met in the Adobe VIP Summit. He's a French creator, and he's going to come on the show as well, mate. He was testing some Super Bowl stuff. So let's check this out for the realism. What people are particularly impressed with is its multi-modality, so multi-shot, multi-input, everything else like this. So with that, it's probably likely that you only use like a one start frame, and then the rest of the cut shots are like generated based on the start frame. So it's incredible how it's able to go from scene to scene with continuity like that. It's probably the best at doing that. But Sora did that originally, you know, and Sora let you put yourself in stuff originally too, didn't it? It was like the personality driven AI content.
And the crazy thing is only last week we were saying Kling, everything is Kling, this is it, wow, Kling is 3.0. I wonder what anyone's going to do to even come close to this. Not even a week. and look where we are.
Well, here we are, Stu, and I have actually tried not to get some of the obviously blatant IP ripping off stuff, because I've heard that it's going to be very much neutered before it reaches the West via Dreamina. So lots of the initial models, mate, were doing stuff like this, you know, with very, very famous people like Jackie Chan fighting Bruce Lee and Jet Li and all of this stuff. I've tried not to get that for the show this week, just because it feels like just such a blatant rip-off of existing IP. Clearly, it's possible, though, and that was what was crazy. It kind of had its Sora moment in that when it came out, it was capable of doing a hell of a lot of things. Then within 48 hours, it was, you know, calmed down a bit, let's say. But yeah. Sora 2 and Seedance 2 made me feel the same thing. Why do you need a professional career if everyone can do the same thing? Well, I've seen PJ Ace's comment about this as well, Winston, in that, you know, essentially a lot more people are going to be able to do what was very hard editing before. You know, those cutscenes that we just literally watched, those would have had to be a skilled editor or director that would have known how to make those cutscenes, when to make those cutscenes, all of that stuff. So it definitely does lower the bar again in terms of who can make really incredible stuff. But that's not to say that you should feel any different, mate. Your stuff has always stood out above everybody else's. And that's why, you know, we've been watching you on the show for many years, and all of the others too. It is still an expression of creativity, but also a skill, you know.
It goes down to the story. Ultimately, people might be able to create amazing looking things, but you can create amazing boring things, and that's
oh yeah, yeah.
Thing, yeah.
And when the standard, you know, just keeps going up, you have to keep, you know, just telling great stories. Yeah, it's incredible, mate. Some of the other examples, as Miriam pointed out, everyone should be looking at Billy Bowman's stuff, because he recognized, as everyone else did, that a lot of the initial examples, like you said earlier, were just action sequences. You know, they didn't really tell much story. And so Billy, as somebody who does advertising, was instantly interested, like we would be if we had access to the model, in testing its advertising capabilities. So he created this quick short piece. Let's have a quick check. So we're going to be seeing a lot more spec ads, if you ask me, because that type of thing is, you know, if you've got a few initial ideas and a few initial images, you can create multi-shot and then just chain multi-shot together like that and create something which is about a spec ad length, like 30 seconds.
Yeah, spec ads are always my favorite. Miriam, anyone else mesmerized by Andrew's cat? Yeah, I had to let him out the room. Otherwise he would start jumping on the keyboard and everything. So yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly the same as me, mate. I'm on the CPP for CapCut and Dreamina, and I think 24th is going to be the first access. But Kling 3 is still something you can use if and I've seen now it's been rolled out to the normal plans as well. It's not just the ultra plans in Kling 3. Actually, I saw a really cool piece on Kling 3, which is a great segue. This one I asked for the high res sent over to me, and it's by Callum, who we're going to have on the show as well, mate. He used to be the head producer at Bloomberg for a decade and the creative director. So really come from a really big background of high production. Now he's working at Where Giants Roam, and he created this piece just called Farmed. I'm not going to say anything more about it because it really tells the story itself. Nice little outro, wasn't it? Now we're the one on the hook. Very nice.
You know what I saw the other day, actually? Someone was talking about motion graphics, AI for motion graphics. I can't remember what platform it is. Anyone in the chat, if you know the AI that does good motion graphics as well.
Seedance as well.
Was it Seedance? Was that the same Seedance as well? Oh, okay.
Yep.
No, this was about a week ago that I heard this.
Oh, maybe it was Kling.
10 days ago. Yeah, it might have been Kling. but I know that they were talking about you can do really good motion graphics on it now. And I was like, okay, that sounds interesting as well. But Kling Free, Anita said Kling Free is on ElevenLabs.
It is, and actually, thanks to ElevenLabs, because they sponsored the Chroma Awards, which I was at in London, and they picked 11 films that we watched, and we've watched nearly every 11 of them on this show, mate. So we clearly have good taste, you know. We picked all of the winners way ahead of the actual awards, and they were some of the community's favorites as well. It was the Twin Earths. Can you remember that one with the red and white palette? And we've watched quite a few of them. Like I said, I think there was maybe only one or two that they picked that we hadn't picked, essentially, for the show. But it was incredible. And what ElevenLabs now is, mate, is everything. It has a studio, which it has all of the video tools, including the Chinese tools. And it has VO3, it has Nano Banana, it has everything, and all of their audio tools, plus their music tools. So it's a full suite now. ElevenLabs essentially is everything that you want in one package. And lots of people, lots of people seem to be doing this. They recognize that others provide things that they don't, and otherwise their users were just bringing in outside sources. Now, Midjourney is probably the only one you still can't do this with. You know, essentially, Midjourney refuses to API into other people's stuff. So if you're using Midjourney in your pipeline, you'll have to start with images there, maybe in the website, in Discord, download them, bring them into wherever, like ElevenLabs, and then you can continue on the journey from there.
Do you think Midjourney are playing a dangerous game?
Yes, definitely. Definitely, because everyone's sort of like benefiting from other people using their tool. You know, like there are places that are just aggregators that have no tools of their own that are getting millions of uses of other people's tools. So Midjourney are definitely losing out on a huge amount of potential customers and users there, and people that experience how good Midjourney's style is. But Midjourney version 8 is apparently not too far away, and we'll hear from Megan if she's watching, you know, exactly when it's exactly due to launch. But yeah, pretty crazy. VO 3.1 does motion graphics as well,
okay. Oh, I need to check, definitely. You know that you can do VO, I think it's VO 3.1 now for free in Gemini. They announced it. I was on Gemini 2 days ago, and it says you can now do this. So, yeah.
I tell you what, mate, Google are getting so tempting to just wrap all your stuff in as well, you know, because they've got all the foundational models. They've got Nano Banana, VO3. We got VO4 on the way, no doubt. And Notebook LM, all of them. They're really good. Gemini, I start using a lot more as well, you know, because it can talk to YouTube. And it has direct access, because obviously Alphabet, to reference YouTube, and others will just say, sorry, I can't access that link and things like this. Like, so yeah, I find that Google really is. Remember we said like a year and a half ago, where the hell are Google? And now suddenly they're the best in like 8 domains or 10 domains, something
Google,
like this.
2025 was Google's year. I have that out of all of the companies. I think Google was the year. And if I was Apple, I would take note. I'll be like, you know what? Maybe we can do that, but I doubt it. But yeah.
Oh, at least they're bringing it up, as Glenn points out. MJ brought up Nano Banana yesterday on Discord. They do their like weekly podcast on a like Wednesday afternoon. So I'm assuming that was David like talking about Nano Banana. Maybe they're, you know, accepting that image editing is never their thing, and style is maybe their thing, so then they'll incorporate some Nano Banana things. I did think at the beginning, because it wasn't actually Google that cracked that like editability and listening to prompts. If you remember, it was actually Sora image generator that really listened to our prompts initially, and then Midjourney was on high alert because this one truly listens and actually gives you what you want instead of just ignoring half your keywords. And then suddenly now, but it made sense because essentially it's an LLM, isn't it? You know, like ChatGPT is an LLM, therefore they've used all of their LLM capabilities in their image model to make them listen to prompts properly. I think that was Google's advantage with Nano Banana too, is that their LLM was so good in Gemini that essentially it could wrap around and make the image model truly listen to the input tokens. Whereas Midjourney never really had an LLM. It was always an image model on its own, standalone. and maybe therefore they're succeeding that they need an LLM's capability.
Yeah. Brandon said, I reckon it's only a matter of time before Midjourney is bought by one of the big AI titans.
That's another
Possibly.
thing is we've been listening to their podcast for a while, Brandon, and they're staunchly independent,
Saying no,
which is
but
why they turn away APIs and stuff like this. You know, they've turned away funding from some of the biggest companies in the world already. So the acquisition would have to be a massive one in order to really make them serious. Plus, they had that like Meta collaboration recently, didn't they? So
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to be wanting to do much more than that in the meantime. No. Otherwise, it would be everywhere already.
I think they'll just, like I've always said, if I was Apple, that's who I'll be trying to get. I'll be going after Midjourney, Runway, ElevenLabs, and yeah, probably those three, and Perplexity. That's what I'll be going if I was Apple. And then say, look, here's 300 billion. Like we've got to catch up. But I think that Midjourney is one of those, because they've got a good core, good community. I think that might be like, I think they'll be okay for a few years as long as they got money from like the Meta money and all of that. I think they'll be all right because they'll always have that underground following.
Yep. When me, Eric, and Glenn met up in New York, Artlist, we all discussed how Midjourney version 4 was the moment we all were like, oh my God, AI is incredible. So they've always got that moment of nostalgia with us as well, if they do rekindle and decide that they wanted to do stuff. And it turns out, Glenn's saying, it's the users asking for Nano Banana, mate. So yeah, as Eric's pointing out, it not being able to do typography is incredibly frustrating when we're at this level of AI video. You know, essentially, we should be there now. And more details about the Chroma Awards, Winston. I met a Kenner. Remember the guy that did the amazing movie that we watched of nostalgia, the 100 Years one? He is an absolute legend, mate. And he was sad that you weren't there, Andrew.
Yeah.
And yeah, it felt like I met Afro Futcher as well. You know, she's absolutely incredible. And they're both just as like exactly how you expect them to be in real life, as fun and creative as their content that they put online and that we get through the show. And I met the Bionic guys as well, who we're going to be doing stuff with in the future. We're going to actually be hosting the winners on here and maybe interviewing each one of the category winners, showcasing their stuff. That was really cool. Alex Pell, and yeah, it was really awesome to see them. I met Matti Shimura, who's the overall organizer of the Chroma Awards, and I didn't realize how him and Justin's from Wonder Studios, they were all at ElevenLabs staff one time. So that's why the Chroma Awards and and Wonder Studios, he was the creative director there, and yeah.
Wow. Overall, we've got great awards. Happy with
Oh mate, it was so posh. It was incredible. I didn't really want to be there in a suit. Others didn't show up in a suit. So most people were there in really fancy attire, but clearly some people got away with the old jeans and, you know, a shirt and whatever.
They didn't get the memo.
No, they didn't get it, but you know, it was incredible. Like the whole affair was just so well put together. The showcase in the theater was awesome. The sound design was so well done. And then we went to dinner as well afterwards, a few of us, and just talked about like what season 2 looks like, because season 1 was so good for the Chroma Awards, probably the biggest AI awards so far. They were announcing that it was there in terms of overall entrance and stuff like that. And the prize money was over $1 million and stuff, and in credits. And yeah, we're at a point now where it's truly worth entering these things, and it's truly exciting. And your career can change overnight if you win one of them, potentially, with the clients that you'd get on the back of it straight away. So and it was an honor to be a judge, because obviously I got to see how it all works, and I was doing the music EDM category, which was really cool. The music videos were insane. So this year we're going to see way more music videos of high quality. Talking of that, the Door Brothers actually sent me a high quality version of their latest music video. Now this is definitely going to, get us demonetized on YouTube for watching this one, because it has some nudity and some scenes like that, like, because it's the Door Brothers, right? But it's worth showing you guys, because I said to him, mate, this is one of the best pieces you've ever made. Did you make the song? Was my first question. And he goes, yep, I made the song as well in Suno. And it sounds like Tool, mate. Like, it sounds like the band Tool, but with like a heavier sort of EDM sort of feeling drop to it. And just check this out, guys. Seriously, you know, be aware it's going to have some extreme scenes in it because it's the Door Brothers. But my God, if this is the standard of music video we get to see this year, I cannot wait.
Would you do it for me? Would you do it for me?
My God, mate, I still get goosebumps. That's the sixth time I've watched it now.
You know what? It reminds me of like a 90s MTV. Like if I was this could be on MTV in the 90s, like the way that sound and then the music video to match. It's just, yeah.
Hey, Tim, what's going on, man? Thanks for tuning in. We definitely need to do a live show with you. We were just talking about how we're going to start getting more on YouTube, but stuff like that is like a demonetization speed run, as I saw someone put in the comments of it. But I said to him, unreal, mate. Seriously, in the top 3 things you've ever made. I was going to say top 5, but it made top 3. I was like, that's original soundtrack. Advanced with Suno remix. He actually used his own music. So he played real music, remixed it kind of in Suno, then created all of the visuals for it, and it just looks so cinematic and so. It's just it's a real combination of so much cool shit. There's just no other way to say it.
What's the weapon of choice for them? Like what platform do they use?
He uses everything. He has like bespoke workflows. They even have their own Door Labs now, where they have their own tools where you can create like storyboards and stuff like this. I chat to him a lot on the phone now about like, you know, future filmmaking tools. But the thing I'm going to say to him next is, for sure, he needs to make future music video tools. You know, like, because he is the god at doing that stuff. Hey, let's go, man. We're gonna have such an awesome year this year, Tim. I think we're gonna get you, Linus, all of us, Chris when he gets back from Japan, and I think we're all gonna start doing live shows together, broadcasting. I think I was saying to Andrew in the green room, I was like, live might be one of the only mediums that we can trust anymore, because all ads, all social media organic posts, other than your long form videos that you're splicing together with human editing, a lot of content's going to become largely AI. So live is where it's at, and in-person events. Yeah, I met Tim as well again at Adobe, but we see each other all the time now. You know, like at Artlist and stuff like this. He was there, and we're all like vibing in the same sort of award shows and comings together. It's really awesome.
Wow.
Ew, that music video was weird and gross, mate. It was surreal.
That made me laugh. That's funny.
It was so good, if you ask me.
What music video won at the Chroma Awards? What was the one that won?
There were a few actually that we watched. Visual Frisian was one of the winners, and there was another Spanish artist that I think won a different category, because there were several categories. I was in the EDM category. There was a rock and roll category, and then there were other. It was so big that they had genres for music categories, which was amazing. Yeah. Do you know who was sitting in the panel with me in the EDM? Flostradamus, who's like a massive EDM DJ. I didn't get to meet him, sadly, because it was all so quickly done. But like, I was just like, how the hell did you just get Flostradamus to sit on this EDM panel so casually like that? It's insane.
Wow. What was the show like? Was it like a proper award show, or was it like, how did they do it?
Well, no, this was a screening that we went to, which was just of the 11 winners basically in certain categories. So we weren't watching music videos or anything like this. These were like 11 short picked films, and Ekena's was one of them, the 1900s Christmas one. But yeah, we watched basically them back to back. There was a panel with Rourke on it, which was really, really good. And Rourke's killing it at the moment.
Did you get to catch up with Rourke?
Yeah, Rourke and Ben and a few others were there. Ben Kaluza. Yeah, there were a few of us there, but it was because it was London and it wasn't paid flights and hotels and stuff that I think a lot of the like New York and LA people weren't able to make it this time. Yeah. But I think the idea for them is to have regular screenings sort of in big capital cities, so that when you are close, you can go to that meetup and stuff.
Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah.
And I'm going to be going to New York a lot more this year, that's for sure. Oh, something I wanted to show you, because this is my favorite thing to test, is when we first get access to a new video model like Seedance, my first question isn't how good is its photorealism, it's how good does it adhere to styles. You know, because there's so many styles you can input into models that they just completely go off the rails. They don't look anything like the first frame you gave them. You know, they just blend into something completely different. So I saw this back-to-back sort of tests of style adherence through Seedance, and this is what made me truly excited to try this model.
You were never ready for this.
How crazy is that?
Yeah, you know what? Google, I want to see what they're going to do. I'm looking forward to seeing what Google's going to do. And then also, I want to know the price of this Seedance. Is it going to be very expensive?
These are all the questions, aren't they? I've heard that it's a very much more affordable one. But again, this is like the Chinese getting the Chinese version of their thing. So whether they released a Western price difference, I don't know. But I heard it was running at like 72 cents per second or less, you know, so it's actually quite a lot.
Yeah,
That was
that's
Seedance
it's a
2.0,
lot.
Stu.
Yeah.
Basically, we're just talking all Seedance and Kling this week. It's kind of an insane week for those two models in the release.
Yeah.
The robot chicken reference. And yeah, Tim's a legend, Winston, just popping in. He said he has to bounce, but that we're going to hook up something later in the year with him. Take care, everybody. Just a legend popping in, you know, a casual, the best dad jokes on YouTube with AI in space. Yeah, and it was Seedance. Is it Jimmy's film that we've got in high quality to watch today?
Yeah. Is Jimmy in the chat? Is he here?
Yes, he is. That combo is just insane. I remember 1.5 was always pretty bench on Weavy. I think that it's pretty hench instead, he said. I think it is a big jump though, Jimmy, as well. I think it's a really big jump in terms of like 1.5 to 2 has leapfrogged it to like maybe the best model on the market. But we've got to compare what the West gets compared to what the Asian model is, because definitely it could be neutered really hard. You know, we were discussing this a lot in the WhatsApp group just before this. Are we actually going to get like a real letdown here in that the model that we get to use is not the thing that we've been seeing for a few weeks prior? So I'm really hoping that's not the case. But you know, fingers crossed, essentially, we're able to play around with the thing that I'm seeing such incredible showcases of. As I said, though, the IP is definitely not coming. Like, you know, one of the things it's going to have to strip out is this, like, overly usage of people's IP. That's why I didn't curate the, like, Jet Li, Bruce Lee fights. And I've seen Colonel Sanders fighting the KFC guy, fighting the Ronald McDonald, fighting all of that, you know.
Yeah.
And I am going to show one, which includes Iron Man in it, but it's kind of like a different version of Iron Man, which is feels a little less plagiaristic. But I did see this clip, and I was just like, oh my God, if this is what we get to play around with, this looks nuts. Mental, isn't it?
When they do the fight scenes, I wonder what they're prompting. Like, are they saying, right, to do this punch, to do that punch? Because there was a few things
we've got to
done.
find out, because what's happening is they're prompting in Cantonese and Mandarin. So right now we're gonna have to wait for the Western release and then test our like English. You know, because the thing is also is that the training data might be on a lot of you know, Asian TikTok, and it's got like, think about it, it's going to have SEO optimized Asian text. It's going to have all of this. So whether or not we can get the same results through English language as because that's always been their problem with the Western models, is using their native language doesn't get the same results that English does. So yeah, it's going to be really interesting.
And Teresa's mentioned awesome video games vibe. This is what I was saying to you earlier on, like off of the show. I was saying I think we've hit the point now where the quality is as good as, like, when it comes to action, it's video game quality now. So, and video game quality is good enough, is more than good enough. Like, you can watch it, and like, I watch video games like I was watching a movie. Like, my friend will play sometimes, and I'll just watch him play, waiting for the cutscenes. So I think that's what we're like now. That's where we're at.
I honestly think it's just like such a leap ahead of everything else, because everything else would have really struggled with all those scenes. You'd have seen hands going through people. You'd have seen people going through walls. You'd have seen like appendages at all sorts of weird angles. You know, it just seems like you're really looking for the flaws now. You know, you're really looking for where the physics wasn't quite right. But with all these cutscenes, you can obviously just cut them out as well if they don't work. But it looks a lot more like stylistically sticking with everything. And that's what I said. Like, yes, it's cool that we're seeing action, but honestly, the thing that excites me most is these heavily stylized things where you can use that as your first frame and adhere to that style, like this.
That's my
so
favorite
yes,
one.
you get the crazy camera motions, but also the style actually stays as it should. You know, like, which is something a lot of the models really struggle with. If you give it an input reference frame, if it doesn't have a source of reference, it kind of just invents a style it thinks should be close to it, but it's not. You know, it's not adhering to what you gave it. It's just inventing something new, and that makes it a lot more of a slot machine. You know.
What was the one, the model that you could put a mid frame in as well?
Oh, Runway offers that on one of their older models. The problem with all of the new models is, as we know, every time they get, although this trend might break actually, because Seedance 2 has come out apparently with the ability to upload multiple videos, image, and audio all at the same time on release in China. But previously, as we've seen new models come out, like when Kling released a new model, it was, oh, there's no last frame yet, there's no middle frame yet. You know, essentially we can only work with the new model with first frame, and then we'll add the features on the 0.1 update, the 0.2 update, 0.3, and it usually gets up to 0.5, and then they roll over to the next, you know, full model. And then it starts again, you know, building the features back up every single time. But we might have just bucked that trend in that Seedance came out with all the bells and whistles on it straight away. Like,
not playing.
Yeah. Insane transitions is what I've been noticing too, Lara. It is like the cutscenes and the multi-shot, it's called in the industry. You know, the ability to actually say, here's input reference frame number 1. And that's maybe all you need, because your text can then say, between 0 and 3 seconds, I want this shot. Then I want you to cut to this scene from 3 seconds to 5 seconds, cut to this scene from 5 seconds to, and then you've got up to 15 seconds to make as many cuts as you want. And it will essentially generate a 15-second thing for you. And if any of those scenes don't work, then you can cut them out. And yeah, it's incredible, really.
Yeah.
Kling did a mid-frame too, yes. I believe they did, Winston, in one of their older models, but it's not in the latest model, which is, yeah, kind of annoying.
Yeah, I wonder why it's not in.
IPs aside, this is pure art form with adrenaline. The possibilities with the right imagination, Stu. I can't wait, mate. I know we say it every week and it's almost becoming a cliche, but the standard has just gone up again in terms of what we expect on the show in the next coming weeks is going to be incredible when this is released in the West.
Yeah.
And we get people messing around with this. I expect spec ads to go up a mile. Yeah. I think they will take the largest jump. and then probably music videos, and then longer form short movies and stuff like this. But
And as we said at the beginning of the show, it was only last week we were saying, wow, Kling 3.0 has come out and blah, blah, blah. Now,
and mate, I think we need to still give it its justice, actually, because I think Kling does things better than Seedance. Like, if, for example, you're wanting to do like realistic dialogue scenes, I still think Kling 3.0 is completely the one. And Stefan, again, the guy that gave us the example earlier, put together this, which actually blew my mind.
Okay, so for Chivas, any ideas?
I think we could take the ideas from last year, but incorporating designs that Lucy generated.
I'd love to manage this project if that's okay with you, Alice.
Yeah, of course. Okay, let's take a break a bit.
Are you kidding me?
Okay, so I wanted to talk to you for a bit. Yeah, I feel that.
Do you have something against me?
Not at all, Lucy. It's just, I like the way you are proactive, but...
But you feel in danger, maybe?
What did you say?
I don't know. Feels like it.
Every time I give an idea, the team finds it great, and you always, and I mean always, find a way to disclose it. That's not the case. Okay, your ideas are great, but... Maybe you show up too much? I don't know. Okay, let's try it. I'm okay for the Shabazz project if you still want to manage it, okay?
I am tired of trying.
Wow. We're getting multiple people talking in the same scene with different accents. We're getting adherence of character, adherence of sound. We're getting true emotion. Who said that AI acting was never going to have emotion? I remember last year, oh, this is emotionless. And, mate, it's just a matter of time. And the right person prompting it as well. That really matters, obviously. He's really good at doing those tests.
Yeah, I think those short videos, I think, will do well on likes of YouTube and those short films. However, what I will say, and this is for anyone who's getting into this space, it's when you see shows like that, you're going to get a big backlash of people to say you could have do that. It's not like with all these special effects and then you can look at it. But when it's something like that, you're going to get, there is going to be a back. I'm seeing it already where people was like, well, why didn't you get actors to do that? So whoever creates that, even though it's really good, just be aware of or having some rebuttal to that.
I agree.
That seems to be like a big thing at the moment.
Especially when it's just dialogue, you know, and there's no, it's all focused on dialogue. But it is astounding, isn't it? And it just makes it so that every avenue is possible in the future. You've got hybrid production where, as Dave does, you go and record real people, you use blue screens, and then you use AI VFX on those blue screens in post-production. You've got purely AI generated, as we just saw there. Nothing at all was any real human being, and it was all one person, you know, steering the director's ship from the top. Then you've got pure real, you know, where it's like no AI usage. Then you've got the like in between parts where it's like maybe we should upscale with AI. Maybe we should use research for AI. You know, you've got everything in between. So it's as little or as much as you want to use it now is essentially what we're at. You know, you can do it for the whole thing, for nothing, or some parts of it.
Yeah, exactly. I think we've got the person who put it together. Thanks for showcasing my little dialogue scene.
Hey, let's go! I just said to him in the WhatsApp group that we're showcasing it. He said he's he's at an AI festival right now in Paris, so trying to tune in on the road, man. I really appreciate it, and awesome work, brother, and great example. Like one of the best examples I've seen with pure dialogue so far. Yeah, really, really cool. And again, that's why we're talking about Kling, because it went kind of buried, didn't it? Like 1 week in, Seedance buried it, and then nobody was really doing many tests around it. I think Uncanny Harry, who I met at down in Chroma Awards as well, he was doing some tests with it that we showed last week, but then that was the best, like, just pure dialogue thing I think I've seen, which is, You know, there's a lot of stuff to be gained there.
Do you think this is going to be the year where a lot of the platforms that are doing AI videos are just going to kind of get pushed to the side, and there's only going to be about a few of the big ones? So, for example, Hydra and Collapse and things like that. Do you think they'll find their own little place?
It could be like an ideogram thing, you know, in that it's just always kind of a smaller thing that can do certain things that people really like. You know, it was the first to do text. It was the first to do things. ElevenLabs always been known for its more social media friendliness. You know, it's never really been for real filmmakers and stuff like that. So again, it depends. I don't think they're all going for the same audience, you know. Like, it feels like some want to be for Gen Z on social media, some want to be for filmmakers, what I really want to see, though, is those that just do music video tools. You know, like ElevenLabs is really well positioned for that because it has a music generator, now all the video stuff. So, yeah, I think they're going to specialize is essentially my answer. You know, and if they don't specialize and they try to stay somewhat just an aggregator, they might fall by the wayside, to be fair. I think we'll see I think we'll see like 10 drop off unless they find a niche audience. And you don't need a hell of a lot of funding or even a massive community. You just need to make it sustainable, which is harder than it sounds in AI. You know, it's because you could become irrelevant overnight and make like millions of dollars into your model, and it's crazy.
That's the thing, really, really quick. And all it takes is for the big boys with like forever profits just jumping in with their let's jump into this space. And then,
And you know, something that we don't talk about enough, but we will do this year, is that open source is coming for this space as well. You know, like open source, and what it means is, essentially, if you can own your own hardware, then you can run it locally without any cost at all. You just need to have the hardware to be able to run it. Now, LTX Studio, LTX2 is probably the best in the open source category at the moment, and that's a European-based one, mate. So it's actually quite fascinating to see that, you know, where's the moat in terms of productivity for subscriptions when open source could essentially catch up really, really quick? And if anyone's questioning, well, LTX2 is nowhere near as good as Seedance or Kling or anything like that, well, it might not be, but it can do stuff like this, which is honestly all you need for storytelling.
Breathe in. Keep breathing, it helps.
Keep your back straight.
Just bend your knees.
You got this.
Life works better when it's shared. Grow together.
Not a bad spec ad from an open source video model, right?
That is so. Is an actual company, or is just like?
I don't know. Actually, I didn't research that part. You should find out. But that was made by Adam Palmer, who is the creative director at Lightrix, who is the team that actually open sourced the LTX2 model. So essentially, it's the trend that we've been seeing in the last few weeks, where in-house employees are some of the best people specialized at using their own tools, and are able to produce, you know, great regular content using their own tools as a showcase to others of how they could also use it. Genius, right? Like marketing 101 right there. More people should be hired on the basis of them being able to be in-house directors just for that tool, I believe.
That's a good ad as well. I was like, I really hope there's a call to action on this ad, because it was a really good ad. I like that one. That's something that I would share.
He was. Can you remember the Audible one that we showed a week or two ago? He was.
Yes. Was it the same guy?
Same guy. So that's what I mean. Like, he's finding that level of prolificness now that like Dave or like Simon Mayer or someone is, that they're producing these on like a 1-2 week basis, and brilliant. And we're here. We've got a platform for it, Adam. So thanks very much. Now I've been saving the best till last, mate. This one is by a big agency, so I'm not going to lie. This one had a lot of people, very talented people behind it. And I did a kind of like cliched newsletter write-up because I was going to be away, and I smashed together the Super Bowl and Valentine's Day, knowing that Valentine's Day was coming up. I'm not going to get a newsletter out for that, so I decided to smash both events together. And this Valentine's Day ad is probably one of the best ones I've seen in forever. I'm not going to say the brand behind it, because as soon as I do, you'll probably like have some inkling as to the twist that's going to be perceived in this. But I'm not going to say anything else. Guys, let me know what you think about this. I was crying laughing at the script. The script is the bit that got me in this one.
Introducing the most exciting innovation in couples connection and intimacy. Small, but oh so powerful. The moment you turn it on, you'll feel closer than ever. AI-powered technology enhances your senses. Discreet and designed to be used anywhere. On date night, in a crowded bar, or even in a work meeting. Cheeky. Hands-free. It lasts all day, no matter where you find yourself. The device your relationship has been missing is a hearing aid. Bring the spark back. Book a free hearing check for you and your partner at Specsavers.
Smart.
10 out of 10, mate. No comments. 10 out of 10. That was absolutely genius.
An actual commissioned ad.
That's a real piece by a big agency. Like I said, it's OMD agency in collaboration with Specsavers and loads of others. It was just, I thought that like every single one of that was just perfect, like Simon Mayer level of advertising storytelling, because it was a sexual voice. Every scene looked like it was like, you know, ambiguous as to what the product was, but it was like close-up shots that you could do in Nano Banana or something like that. And then the twist at the end being a hearing aid and Specsavers, which is like the chef's kiss.
The voice.
The chef's kiss. I was like, come on, man. And that's where both of our lives are smashing together, because that's a big brand, real advertising campaign, but it could have been an AI generated spec ad. Literally every single one of those elements could have been AI if you had the right taste. Now, taste means everything now, doesn't it? Because that whole thing probably had multi-million-dollar budgets, and it could actually have just been generated by Simon Mayer. And now we're in this like time of advertising, which is so exciting. Look at the comments, mate. It's going off in the comments. People are loving it. I'm glad I saved the best one till the mid part of the show, because I saw that and I was like, this isn't AI generated, but they mentioned AI in it, you know. It was like AI powered. So I was like, we can.
Hold on. So this was AI generated, or it wasn't?
No, it wasn't. That was a real ad. By a big agency. But what shocked me about it was just how every scene looks like what Rory sends me. Literally in weavy flows of like, you know, product shots of close-up photography, and every single scene looks like it could have been made. But the hook, line, and sinker, as Eric says it, is just the twist. It's the great storytelling. It's the, you know, it doesn't take $1 million budget to make that, but it can, and it works incredibly well. Like, that's going to be an incredibly successful real ad run on TV for Specsavers, who every year, if you're not in Britain, they're just genius. You know, some of the Specsavers.
They're one of the best. If you're not in the UK,
one of the best. And now they're always got an agency working on their behalf. Don't get us wrong. You know, like generally they don't have in-house marketers that do this. It's usually Ogilvy or someone big that they're working with, but they just crush it every year. And it's a great company to make a spec ad for too, because they've always got that cheeky twist, don't they? Like they're very few companies have that like love of people because of just the cheekiness. You should have gone to Specsavers, mate. It's like one of the old times ads, like.
Yeah. What Stu said, what? No AI? Poof. So 5 years ago, exactly.
Yeah.
So last year.
What made it a great ad? I thought their distinctive assets with their tagline should have gone to Specsavers. Yeah, I mean, what made it a great ad was the twist. I mean, the whole thing where you were like, this is a sex toy, this is a sex toy. Every single scene, like, with your partner, get closer together. That's why I said the script, I'd have been just laughing so hard if I was reading that script.
It wasn't going to be that because it was an advert, but I was just thinking, what is it going to be? That's what I was trying to work out. I was like, what is it going to, where's this going? And that's what
the hearing aid twist, mate, was genius because it makes something so unsexy sexy. That's the twist, really, isn't it? It's like traditionally it's seen as like faux pas, but they are just now beautiful pieces of technology that really change people's lives. And
and that's the thing with Specsavers. What they're trying to do is they're trying to push that side of the business as well.
Right,
like
definitely.
Like a lot of opticians are trying to push the hearing side of things, especially because people are addicted to their headphones. They've always got something in their headphones or their ears, so that's a big thing. So yeah, it's a good ad. It's a good way to push that side of the business and say basically get your ears checked.
Oh, I said earlier I don't want to show IP. Well, I don't think this one counts as IP because essentially Will Smith eating spaghetti has become the test of all models. I don't know how the internet made this the ultimate test of what a model's capability is, but I did actually see someone make a Will Smith spaghetti monster in Seedance. So let's just check that out as quickly. Hilarious that became the standard.
I like the fact that Will Smith just embraces it. Like he just does, like he will do spaghetti.
Apparently he does, doesn't he?
Yeah. He's got to be honest. He's got to.
That's pretty hilarious that he does do that. Right, on the last of the showcases before we watch some of the longer pieces, and then I think we're probably going to have an early show finish, to be honest, guys, because I haven't really got a lot, and like I said, I've just not been able to get a lot this week because I've been away. We have got some longer pieces though, so if people want to see that, and let us know in the show in the future if we do want to see longer pieces. At the Chroma Awards, I think the average length was about 8 minutes. And it was 8 to sort of 15 minutes roughly for each piece, and they're all very watchable by very good creators. It's just obviously, we want to have, what Paul suggested, that we could pause it, and have commentary. So I have like a 3-minute section, and then we all sort of discuss like what we thought of chapter 1, and then we could go back and then watch like 2 and then 3, and instead of just watching somebody else's content for 20 minutes straight, it kind of feels a bit cheeky in terms of like, we're not adding anything to it. So I'd like to do that essentially on the longer pieces in the future. We'll basically pause it where I feel like we've got up to a certain transitional chapter, and then we'll essentially recount what we think about it and then continue watching it like that. If StreamYard will allow us to do that.
Eric said, just play the hearing aid ad for the last 20 minutes.
Actually, you know what me and Eric talked about in New York, mate, and this is going to be a segment that we do more in the future. Remember how I did a segment about like brilliant ads of the past, like 15 years ago, and stuff that people might not be aware of if they're just getting into spec ads now? Well, Eric told me that he basically did one of the first comedy-based insurance ads.
Oh,
So I was like,
nice.
send this. He like changed up the entire insurance industry because it was very
Wow.
boring and dull.
Yeah.
And then he essentially got through a really good, engaging, funny. And since then, insurance has always been funny.
Wow.
Now everyone does. So we're gonna do that as like a piece. And if you know anything that in your country is like a legendary ad, because in the UK we got a lot of ads that a lot of American viewers will never have seen before, and vice versa. Your infomercials that are insanely like famous that we would just not be aware of. Let us know, because that will be a segment, and it won't be AI related. But the idea of it is, Spec ads through Seedance are going to go up a level, and now we want to showcase the best of advertising of history to inspire the next generation of Spec ads. I think that's the justification for a sort of segment like that, Speaking of Spec ads, though, and this is the last demo I will show of Seedance before we get into the long form stuff. This one got me really excited, mate, because every time we talk about sports physics, you're like, I'll send a football clip, how does it do with dribbling? How's the sort of thing?
Yeah.
I want to know as well, mate. And this one was like, wow, if this is the sort of performance we can expect from sports, then maybe Seedance is going to be the Spec ad one of choice. Let's see.
I like balance. I like strength. I like flow. I like speed.
Mate.
That's great.
The water physics of the swimming when she's doing the front crawl and all the splashes just look like exactly how you'd expect them to look.
That was the best one. Like the others were like, you could still tell with some of the other ones, but that was the one I was like, that's very impressive with.
I did actually come away with a Chroma Awards poster, Stu, but I haven't got it in the studio hung up yet. But I did come away with a bit of swag. So yeah, I never leave anywhere without swag, mate. If there's swag offered, I am taking it.
You are taking it.
I'll tell a lie, actually. There was one other short form piece from Seedance that I didn't even label because it was so quick that I was grabbing these right before the show. So I don't even know what this is going to be of. Let's just check it out as the last Seedance example. God damn. I was not expecting that, and because, like I said, I didn't label it. But remember when Dave Clark came on, and people were saying some of his action scenes, it doesn't look like the gun's firing, or it's not coming, the bullets aren't coming out the end of the gun, and it's so obvious, and it throws me off. That looks like solved. Like one of the things where it looks way more realistic now. The camera's shaking, like it feels much more dynamic, and the movement feels realistic. And it's the end of
that. You had like Call of Duty or Battlefield or any of these, I wouldn't be surprised. I would have been like, okay, cool, that's their new ad. Like,
I know.
that good.
I know, and there were definitely, it's not flawless, clearly, there are some imperfections, but just like how much it's improved the action sequences we can make now, and the sort of things that like that would have been a multi-million dollar budget, you know, blowing up houses. And you know, the coolest shot in that whole thing is when the tank fired its thing and the camera sort of spinning around like, and it's some, and you're like, whoa, oh my god, this,
and it followed the bullet. I like that bit as well. Yeah.
And what I'm thinking there is like, was that just text prompted? Like, did they just have the first image as the tank, and then the text prompt said fire the gun and do a 360, you know, camera swirl, and that came out? Yeah, because if that's the case, and then the next scene and the next scene are related, you're like, whoa, this could be really, really powerful stuff.
Unless it was they done that, they done just the normal scenes. They might have had first and last frame. The bullet went whatever way it first came out, and then they said, right, from this bullet, can you now change it here? So they're editing within that.
Again, like, you're like, because one of the things you could do is you could screenshot the like last frame of the generation you got previously and use that as the first frame of the next one. But again, it's felt so smooth, you know, the transitions between clips. So either that's a very good editor, or there are really, really capable multi-shot, like just jumping from frame to frame. It's really hard to know, guys. You know, I don't want to big it up too much because, as I said, I don't know what the West will get. All we're showing you this week is what China essentially has released to certain people, and that's a version that they're using, so it's not necessarily reflective of what we get to use in the next coming weeks.
So what's Dave using? Because Dave has done stuff. Dave Clark and a few others, PJ Ace as well. Like, what are they? They've got access from, obviously must be from Seedance themselves.
No, it's like temporary access through Byte Plus and all these other services. Like I said, they sort of popped it up as API holders for temporary until it got like rammed, you know, and then it got taken down because it just overloading servers. And so it's small stage. It's a really bad rollout if you think about it, because like I said, if it is a disappointing Western rollout, like all the hype's going to be really, really bad, because it is incredible hype right now. And I don't want to overstate it, but it looks like a real step up in so many categories: sports, physics, action, but not dialogue, you know, not as good as Kling. Kling is definitely the dialogue king right now. VO4 could be the new dialogue and action, but who knows? That's still to come.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna, can't wait for it to go out. I just feel that maybe they would have put it out quickly because to get on some of the Kling hype. You know, it's like, let's put it out, jump on the Kling hype.
Well, one of the things we know for sure is
all the big ones, and they're like, let's put it out first because at least we get some attraction. Because they might have seen what that competition is doing, and they're like, right, let's put something up before they do, get some hype. Because there's no point in putting it out after what they've come out with.
Well, the Chinese stocks just rose insanely, you know, literally both of the companies that produce these models. And so, yeah, let's see, you know, how influential it is on the West, and whether or not the IP strictness of it all comes out and it neuters the model, or whether we get a thing just as capable as the model that we're seeing. It really is multiple paths that could go down. We've got some longer form pieces that I'm so thankful that we've got really high resolution versions of that I'm going to add to the stage as like a separate user. The first one is by Laszlo Gall, legend of the show. He did that Porsche ad, remember? The very first behind the scenes thing that we were like, man, this is still to this day, I think every video he makes is crushes. He is another Simon Mayer in many respects. And this one is not in English, but I thought it's so good. And in the subtitles, obviously, you'd be able to read it. And just the quality, mate, like, oh, it makes me think that this year really is going to be, these might be some of the biggest videos of the year in all mediums. You know, if the quality and the storytelling continues to be, we're going to see like, we saw Free Pick Originals because Cavan the Kid got picked up by that, didn't he? So we're going to start seeing original AI series of a really high standard very, very soon. And this is a sort of teaser into that.
Vale, escúchame. Esos turistas que caminan leno no son turistas de verdad. Los pagan inversores inmobiliarios para molestar a los locales hasta que se vayan. Frustras a los locales. Vacías pisos. Beneficio.
¿Se te ha ido completamente?
¿Y qué? ¿Les pagan por horas o por pasos?
En fin, en vez de hablar de tonterías, creo que deberíais saber que Javier quiere ser torero.
No era así como pensaba decirlo. Pero sí, es verdad.
Ay, muy bueno, muy buen chiste.
No, de verdad, no estoy bromeando. Mira, Javier, te queremos, te apoyamos, pero eres informático. Tienes la capacidad física de un pavo con cáncer en fase 3.
No intentes convertir esto en una broma. Tenemos que pensar en la ética. Es tortura animal. Esto no es la Edad Media y ya no se tolera.
Bueno, yo no soy el que soltó 10 peces en el mar sin saber que eran de agua dulce y se murieron todos.
Yo solo quería liberarlos. No es culpa mía que...
En un sentido budista, ahora todos son libres. No te preocupes.
Vale, dejemos el tema de los PFs. Eso ya lo hablamos hace 4 años, ahora no hay nada que hacer. Pero al menos, Javier, ¿puedes explicar por qué?
Bueno, ya sabes, cuando te pica el centro de la espalda y solo quieres rascarte.
Right, I'm doing a pause, adding us to the stage. So far, mate, it's so groundbreaking, isn't it? It's
you talk about emotion on the face.
That's what I'm saying. Like he pushes things to test like true emotion, multi-characters in emotion. Like this is so watchable, even though it's not in English, just with English subtitles and the lip sync and everything. You're just so immersed in the show in its long form. And as Jimmy said, super excited by the feature of length stuff in this year. Like we're finally breaking through the intersection of being able to watch long form stuff and it be very watchable. We're halfway through and I thought I'd pause it here. Like this is the idea with the long form stuff. It's essentially to give some commentary on it.
I definitely like it. I love the Spanish culture as well. So I just like what this is about. This is a good one.
It's brilliant, isn't it? And like, I think he's living in Vietnam. Whether he speaks Spanish natively, I didn't even ask him before the show. I need to get him on the show to ask questions about how he's producing all of this. Because honestly, yes, it is great music as well, Rob. I noticed that, like the little acoustic guitar in the background really keeps the sort of like drama and like it is. And to see this in high quality like this is a 2.5 gigabyte file. It shows that like with video upscaling and the right sort of like editing techniques, you can really polish something really nicely because this is not just raw output we're seeing from AI content here. This is upscaled, you know, probably done a lot of post-production on this and added a grain to it and all sorts of stuff like color grading and stuff to like make it feel truly like immersive and authentic. It's incredible, isn't it?
I like it. It's really good.
Anyway, I will get back on with the show. That's what we're going to do with the longer form pieces, guys. We'll just sort of bring us back onto stage like that and then let it go on again.
Sí, yo me rasco como la gente normal. No lo trato como lo trataron los yankees en Hiroshima. En fin, creo que forma parte de la crisis de la medianidad de un hombre querer conseguir algo. Mira, está muy bien querer conseguir algo en la vida. Pero un toro te va a matar. No tienes ninguna oportunidad sin experiencia. He practicado.
¿Has practicado? Aquí no hay toros, esto es una selva urbana.
Le pedí a Adrián que hiciera de toro para entrenar.
Adrián. ¿El chico en silla de ruedas?
Una silla de ruedas eléctrica. Lo he mirado. Puede moverse tan rápido como un toro adulto. Además, yo pago la electricidad. Y a él siempre le hace mucha ilusión hacerlo. Javier, destrozar tu matrimonio es una cosa. Pero toros y niños discapacitados es otro nivel. No sé si puedo seguir llamándote amigo. Te los tendrías que veros la cara. Yo de matador. Bajo. Joder, qué tontería.
Ya sabía que era una broma.
Menos mal.
Más o menos.
Vale, Javier. Esta vez me la has colado.
Eres imbécil. Yo.
Nos vemos la semana que viene. Prometo no hacer bromas.
Venga, hasta luego. Chao.
Cuídate.
Hola, tenía una llamada perdida de este número.
Soy yo, Adrián. Señor Serrano, he subido el voltaje de la batería. Creo que puedo llegar a 40 kilómetros por hora.
Bien, bien. Entonces mañana nos vemos en el molino de Muñento, el que está junto al mar, no el otro. Y Adrián...
Solo una cosa más.
Sí, señor Serrano.
Eres mi único amigo.
I'm telling you, mate. The storytelling that's going on is next
that
level.
there is storytelling. That's brilliant.
Yep.
I really like that. Was
like, I think we saw the whole range of emotions there.
Yeah.
You know, a tense argument, like real frustration, true laughter, like a twist. It had everything. You know, like. And it didn't need the action sequences of Seedance, and it didn't need a lot of the other stuff. It's just true, like, dialogue, narrative, storytelling, script writing, and doesn't need to be in English. It can be in any language, as long as it has good English subtitles. It's super watchable.
Yeah. This here, I think, is what will worry Hollywood. It's not so much Hollywood, but the world of acting in general. Because you're looking at that and you're thinking they can do this. They don't need actors. And I think that's the worry that what I'm hearing from people. But the other side of it is I don't have the budget, but I have an idea. Should I stop not putting my idea out because of finance, which is what has happened for centuries or decades?
The other thing you've got to factor in, though, is that comes from a truly incredible brain.
Yeah.
Like, he's produced like 6 of some of the best AI things we've ever watched. And I've not seen many people capable of pulling off a scene like that. You know, Stefan earlier, who did a shorter version in Kling 3, like, that was good, but like to pull off something like that with all those skills on your own, like, it's a true one of a kind, like Dave or Rory or some of the others that we know, PJA, Simon Mayer. There are like 10 or 20 of them that will continue to expand, no doubt. There'll be a few hundred that we know by the end of this year, probably, that are all of an incredible ilk, but truly they're rather like top of the top, which are doing things like this uniquely that others aren't. I don't see anyone else publishing that on social media. I just was astonished. I saw it and I was like, mate, please send me the high resolution version of this one specifically, because I know.
Who was that again? Someone said who was this by?
That's Laszlo Gull. I'll put his LinkedIn into the chat. Yeah, he's been one of our standouts. And as I said, he lives in Vietnam, and I don't know whether he speaks native Spanish. I needed to ask him that, actually. But yeah, just an incredible person to follow, and doesn't get nearly enough engagement for what he deserves, honestly. He gets picked up by a lot of people like Sanders and others who watched earlier, you know, Evolving AI, because of the storytelling being some of the best. But by his own profiles alone, he's not getting nearly the love he deserves. So go and flood him with the love. I'm just trying to pick up his, trying to pick up his link here.
Yeah, that was great. To be honest,
Laszlo Gal.
either he speaks it or he knows someone who speaks it, because you wouldn't put that out if you weren't sure.
I was thinking that, honestly. I was thinking that. Like, he at least must have had a friend to reference, you know, for being able to do that. But he's never made anything Spanish in the past. You know, all of his previous content has been English. So whether he speaks multiple languages at that fluency is itself impressive, and another skill that most people don't have, you know, mate, especially as Brits. People like you living in Spain and immersing yourself in the language can truly pick up like a second thing. But I, you know, sadly, I've never been able to.
No, I'm terrible at languages. I know my 4-year-old is going to speak Spanish before I do. I'm just trying to learn, so him and his mum don't have conversations without me. So that's the main reason why. Yeah.
You're doing the good dad move, mate. You're doing the good dad move. So you sent me over a piece in really high quality. The war that this is Jimmy's piece, isn't it?
Yep.
We've got a 4K version of Jimmy's piece. So we'll do the same. I'll add it to stage and then I'll sort of pause it some way through. I haven't watched this one all the way through, so I wanted a true reaction to this one. And we'll have like a little bit of gab about that, about halfway or somewhere. Let's have a go.
Be great, Jimmy, if you let us know some of the things, like how it was made, what you did, how long
mate,
etc.
And we'd love to have you on the show in the future to actually come on and chat with us as well. Thanks again for sending through the high-res 4K version. Let's go.
How did we get here?
I heard it started at the top, all the way to the White House.
Good morning, everyone. What have you got for me, General?
Sir, your approval rating is a sinkhole. A goddamn smoking hole. We need something big, and we need it now!
Nothing moves numbers like a war, sir. This could be bigger than the Segway thing.
You okay?
War. That feels serious.
This is a great chance to field test the new toys.
Mr. President, I've only been here a week, so maybe I'm way out of line. I mean, a war sounds great. But wars are messy and expensive. You'll be stuck in briefings for months. No golf, non-stop press, leaks everywhere. Let's be frank, half our gear barely works. What if we fake it? Call up someone harmless, somewhere hot, somewhere nobody cares about. We get them on board. We go to war. Soldiers fly out. The media laps it up. On the ground, nobody fires a shot.
I mean, it would save a fortune. Get me the president of, what's it called again?
Turkmenistan.
Van, what does America want now? You want a war? Absolutely. How about a fake one? Stay with me. You get headlines. We get ratings. Our troops touch sand. The media eats it up. But behind the curtain, this is a summer camp with rifles. Interesting. You know, we have a holiday resort. It could be very convincing. Perfect. You stage a little mobilization, maybe roll a tank through a banana grove. We will fly in some boys with cameras. Just need your full cooperation and strict secrecy.
I once staged a coup with 2 actors and a goat. I know how to put on a show.
I think we're in business.
Sir, if we are doing this, we will need troops ready within 72 hours.
All right, let's pause it there. So it looks like there's a lot of things to unpack, as Jimmy said. KF All News, yeah, Texas conference. There's a lot of things going on in this, isn't there? I love the color palette. That's what I'm loving so far. You know, the close-ups, the sort of fisheye lenses, the color palettes, the characters. They're all very like Wes Anderson-y, sort of like vibey, and it's all super like saturated colors. It's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, like when you showed me the 4K, because I didn't see this version, like I just sent it across to you. I'm shocked at how the quality, like,
yeah.
When I was looking, I was like, what? That's unbelievable.
This is why we need to reach out to the creators to get the original files, man, because the versions that get uploaded to social media and stuff get so heavily compressed that when you see these raw versions, you're like, whoa. And it can sometimes add a bit more lag because obviously I'm streaming a very high video, like gigabyte wise, but it's worth it, isn't it, for these sorts of pieces?
Yeah, so far so good. Obviously, I like the storyline. I wish war was like that, pretty much, where it's like no bullets are shot. You also said Midjourney to design the style.
I could tell it was a Midjourney style.
Yeah.
It was a very Midjourney sort of like, and that's maybe why I love it so much. Honestly, Jimmy, it's like that typical like Midjourney sort of color that no one else can get. You know, like when I see these types of images created through other platforms as our first and last frame, I'm like, well, it's very accurate, but there's no style to it. You know, there's no like real colors. So you've really made the color palette lens like beautiful. As Kurt's pointing out, you've really cracked it on that. Funny that it's loosely based on reality. I think that's the kind of idea, isn't it? It is like it's almost like a parody of like what's going on in reality, where it's just some guys phoning up someone else to make like massive decisions that influence giant countries and like turning countries into theme parks, and you know the Gaza Strip and all of that. You know, it's all references.
Yeah, for approval ratings, that's it.
Oh, so a really nice piece of in-depth thing. This is why it's worth pausing. So it was a Koa anamorphic lens can bring a lot of this to a camera style. So if you're looking for some keywords to try to achieve this type of style that you're seeing on screen, definitely take what Jimmy just put into there. And I believe Midjourney was the tool. So you've got a lot of what you need there already. You know, make it your own, obviously. So ask for your own characters and scenery, but you've got the type of lens and the type of style and the platform to use to get the aesthetic if you're looking to achieve something like this. Really, really cool stuff. All right, should we go back to watching it?
Yeah, play some more.
Let's do it.
I mean, what the
It is with a heavy heart that I must reveal that the prize General Vina has been kidnapped by the evil Turkish military.
Really?
Turkmenistanish enemy. If they think they can bully the United States of America, they've got another thing coming. Today, we are launching a full-scale invasion to eliminate this terrorist nation and bring peace to the world.
Mr. President, isn't this over the top? What about the risk to American lives?
Heroes stand up for what they believe in, and I believe in America. They will be protected by my thoughts and prayers. And guns. Loads and loads of guns.
We're live from the White House, where America has gone to war. Again.
Welcome to the front line. I hope you packed sunscreen.
because you've just been deployed to the most meaningless combat zone in U.S. history. You're not here to fight. You're not here to think. You're here to look like heroes and shut the hell up. Let's get a few things clear. This is a war, but not a real one. You will not fire a shot. You will not take a hit. You will not leak a goddamn word. Because if you do, your next tour will be in a box marked confidential. Look tough, act proud. Do jumping jacks on camera like it's Normandy. So, what do we do all day? Whatever the hell you want.
That seemed like a good little stop point. Jimmy, this is so much effort, mate. It's all I keep thinking through watching this is like, when you make something this long, just how many like edits you have to do, and it's just so much effort. It's insane.
Yeah, like how long did this take? How long did this take to make?
Yeah, this must have been stewing up for at least a couple of months, I'm imagining. Unless you're just crazy with the generations and doing like hundreds a day or maybe thousands even, I don't know.
And you said was it done in Google Pro as well? Is that the one? Is that what you filmed it in?
Yeah, so Gemini Pro to develop a lot of the framing, it seems like. Leaned hard on dozens of hero images for the consistency. So yeah, that's actually a great talking point, mate. I saw a comment earlier. Remember Laura's? Laura's was this like local model that you could make that sort of thing. It may just be a part of history. You know, we thought it might be one of the most important breakthroughs for consistency of something, but it seems you can really lean on hero images now to get that consistency, you know. And Seedance might bring a whole new level of that, where it's like one frame could be generating another frame, which you could get another image from to start a new frame and just continue the creative cycle without needing Laura's at all. But I still think Laura's have their place for like brand consistency and exact specifications of products and stuff, you know.
What I think is interesting is that I think consistency now is a standard thing. It looks like
it is
standard now.
Thomas is still giving love for the Lauras. You know, any agency will know, because if you work on clients, you have to have exact brand specifications. You can't be, you know, not even deviating 1% from the script of the brand guidelines. So especially when you're working at enterprise level with someone like Coca-Cola or someone, it's literally to the T if you can, or the lawyers will say no. So there is a lot of love for Lauras, Thomas, and we don't, you know, excuse that. I think they will, like I said, always have their place in commercial work, but for just you know, regular people making content, I think that first frame is becoming good enough, which is amazing, because that itself is such a breakthrough compared to where we were for consistency. Really big jump. If you think about it, like, so much information is being transferred from one frame into the video. It's really a remarkable thing. It used to take dozens and dozens of images, and then it still wouldn't do a very good job. Now it takes a single image, and it does a remarkably good job. It's kind of incredible. Getting the love in the chat as well, Jimmy. Awesome work from Eric. So last comment, and we'll move on. Writing, just like us, the writing took a few weeks last year for fun, then punched out the film in about 3 or 4 weeks after Xmas. Wow. Amazing. So writing is obviously the place of you starting, obviously with something so long like this. That's not surprising. Do you have a history of writing, Jimmy? Like, obviously, I'm guessing you...
Background,
Yeah. Is script writing something that you do professionally, or did you train it in any way like Dave did, like actually go and study it in any way? Or did you just self-teach? And it's 90% Kling 2.6 and a little Seedance 1.5. Again, just shows like the advancements in the models and just a single jump in those two things, 3 and 2. But for doing something like this, and I did think about this, mate. Anybody that's planning something long can't be using the latest models because it has to take a month, and it's going to be using stuff that's at least a month old. So, like, essentially, the longer form pieces are always going to be a step down from the spec ads or something, probably from now on. But I don't know how big that separation will be. Actually, we'll see, I guess.
Also, last question before we watch the rest of it. How much does something like this cost, roughly?
Oh, yeah. Where are you using your credits to, Jimmy? Are you using them in somewhere like FreePick, or are you going directly to Kling and Seedance? And if so, you know, what sort of subscription or packages do you need to get something like this? Because it is, like I said, an incredible long piece of content. And it's a great thing for YouTube. Obviously, you're tuning in from YouTube and you're uploading it to YouTube. So it's a great thing to make for your YouTube channel. Very, very watchable long form. All right, let's go back in and watch it whilst we wait for an answer.
Our top story tonight, America stands tall once again. Operation War of Words praised as a shining example of tactical innovation.
With President Van's approval now at a historic 85%, many are calling this the bravest conflict in U.S. history.
It's tough out there, but we will prevail.
Despite no known casualties, troop deployment has passed 20,000, under what the Pentagon calls a non-lethal engagement model. While across the country, families are doing their part.
It's so tough working overtime, getting the baby to sleep, keeping the country running.
Yeah.
But it's nothing compared to our boys' hardship. Such brave men.
Chug! 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 Chug!
And that is why my dad is a hero.
Mr. President, we've got a problem.
They always say that. What is it? Russia, Canada? Did Mexico rebrand?
It's China, sir. They found out.
What do they want?
They want in.
Okay, China, let's do this.
We are now receiving confirmation that China has formally joined Operation War of Words. Sources suggest Turkey and France are next. We are, for all intents and purposes, in World War III.
Operation War of Words is a bloody good idea!
Hello, Mexico. Welcome aboard.
We'll take another quick pause there, just because you're talking about real life references. I remember when Donald Trump came to Scotland and played his round of golf as the Epstein files were being released. Can you remember that? Oh my God, it was insane. And people were like, actually, like, in the local Scottish villages going with signs like, you know, why are you showing up on the Epstein list? And Epstein's face was like on the back of vans and stuff. It was crazy.
I actually thought that was a reference more to George Bush.
Could have been.
Bush. Something happened and he made a statement and he goes, now watch my golf swing. And then it was a really serious thing that he said, and he just said, now watch my golf swing. And then just like went back to the golf course and stuff.
Oh, well, yeah, the backwards hitting could have been a Bush thing, but I just was thinking about Trump in Scotland and how that was like, he was leaving the country to just tour Scotland and then went to a private golf course, and it was all like kicking off in the news, and it was just a really serene, weird experience. Wow. Anyway, yeah, isn't it incredible that, you know, so like putting something together so long like this, where you can take multiple pauses in, because there's acts. He's built it into
Yeah.
like 6 or 7 acts. It's incredible. Like, and thinking about it, actually, you can chop them up to maybe YouTube Shorts or something, like Act 1, Act 2, and then like and follow for Act 3, Act 4. Like, it's a really good release rollout plan there, Jimmy. It's a really good idea. If you're making long form things, have a short form version for social media for the people lacking attention. Unfortunately, there's a lot of them in Gen Z and that. But yeah, it's great. Great YouTube strategy. Really cool to see this. Anyway, let's watch the rest.
Silence! America, you've been lied to. There is no war. What we have is a sandpit with a beer tap and some very well-tanned infantry. It's a sham. They call it Camp Pina Colada. This is your war. Our armed forces deserve more than spa days and spin class politics.
All right, team, it's time.
My fellow Americans, it's time you knew the truth.
This was the war that never was. Not really. Every bullet, every battle, every drive to the line. It was faked. We made it all up. And yet look around. Crime is down. Markets are up. Our nation is happier, healthier, richer than ever before.
No, it wasn't real. But in every measurable way, this was the greatest success in world history.
I think it's time to bring our boys home.
他妈的，不是，啊，你自己几个啊，皮月。
That was a really smart way to use the tools on the front of the vehicle, like the Midjourney logo at the end there, Jimmy. That's brilliant, mate. To finish it with a twist like that,
And
make
a
it very
serious
real.
twist,
Yeah,
exactly.
very serious, very real. Like advertising, it usually has a comical twist, and you expect it, like you said earlier, mate. You're kind of waiting for that twist. Whereas in films, you can you can end any way you want. You can kill the main character. You can make it dark. You can do anything. You know, you're in full control. With advertising, you kind of expect it to be something joyful because it's marketing, and therefore you want to have a good sentiment around the brand. You know, you don't really want to go away with a feeling of like, oh shit, that feels really familiar and very real, like Glenn said. Like it felt like, oh no, that is our real world. You know, it's not even really satire here. It's so much showmanship goes on in politics, and you never know what's truly happening. And there are truly men at war and dying, you know, and drones and stuff. It's disgraceful. It's
Do you know what?
so
That reminded me, there was a show back in the day in the UK. It was a big show called Blackadder. And
yes,
I think it was the 4th season. They went to war.
It was Rowan Atkinson, wasn't it?
Yeah, Rowan Atkinson and Mr. Bean. He played it.
Yeah.
And not obviously as Mr. Bean. But it was a comedy. But I remember, I never watched it, but in school, the teacher showed us the last episode, and it was a serious ending like that. So imagine it was funny like that film, but then the end was like, well, hold on, this is war and it's serious. And that's why I like that as well. It just reminded me of that. So well done, Jimmy. Thank you for sharing it with us.
Exactly. Like it was satire, and then it was serious, and then it was rounded up in a really great chapter at the end. In fact, the last chapter was my favorite, Jimmy, of all the chapters. Some were very good, but the ending just made the chapters all fuse together in a very serious undertone, you know, which is the takeaway you obviously wanted from something like that. So, and it looks like you've already got some fans following you on YouTube, and a lot of people saying, you know, congrats and stuff. You deserve it, mate. That feature was amazing. Thanks so much again for the 4K high-res version. Insane. That has almost got us through to the end of the show, honestly, because it was such a long piece. And Cav and the Kids piece will have to wait till next week. And yeah, mate, what another week, hey? Like, can't believe Seedance has just popped off like this, even though it's a weird rollout and none of us can actually use it yet. It's the most hype I've seen around something that can't be used yet, probably ever.
And the thing is, this is what, the 12th of February. When we do next week's episode, there probably is going to be some other release. That's the crazy thing.
Yep. And then hopefully we get the actual usable one, and whether or not the Western version is as good as the Chinese model we've been seeing all week in our algorithms and just shown on the show, who knows? If not, I think there'll be a lot of VPN usage, as someone said earlier, probably going through to use the Chinese version on China, because that does look truly insane. Whatever they're using looks like truly game-changing. And I don't use that word lightly. I think a lot of the tools that we've been showcasing recently are good breakthroughs, but not truly game-changing, whereas that multi-shot capability is something unique almost, and action and sports and lots of the stuff that we couldn't really do in commercials yet look like they're now going to be capable, so the standard is going to be really, really high.
Exactly. Looking forward to seeing where it takes us.
Yes, mate, and thanks again. We'll see you all next week. Look out for the event invite. We're going to get some announcements probably next week about how we're going to try and take this show to a bigger level, because my co-founder Paul's going to come on and hopefully produce the show a bit more, and we can curate the clips better, have a landing page for you guys to submit to that he's going to build. There's a lot of exciting things happening. So tune in and wait out for that, especially Jimmy, and that, you know, you're just sending it to us in DM right now, which we really appreciate. And then we're going to have a landing page for everyone else. So you don't even have to submit stuff that you've made. If you just think this is a piece we should see and you've seen something amazing, we're going to have something for that too. You've just seen a clip, send over a link, and then we'll vet it and then see if it's a good fit for the show. But no doubt you guys will have just seen incredible stuff, because at the moment that's all I'm seeing with Seedance. It's like my whole algorithm is like, whoa.
Seedance,
yeah. Thanks so much for tuning in. Like, all the labs coming in now, because you guys are like a minute behind on LinkedIn. Really appreciate all of you guys. You guys have been almost our day one, some of you guys. You know, literally. Glenn definitely, and Eric definitely. Really appreciate you tuning in all the different time zones around the world as well. Oh, one thing that we may be doing in the future, because Paul he works from the library, and the library closes on a Thursday, so it might be that we move to a different day of the week potentially to fit Paul in with the show. But just look out for the news about that. If there is a schedule change, it will probably be at the same time so that the people in San Francisco can still tune in your morning, but it will probably be on a different day, potentially Wednesday, Friday, something. We'll figure something out anyway. But just in case you see a day change and like, is that right? Yes, it might be right.
Cool.
Cheers, guys.
All right, guys,
we'll again.
Have a good week, and we'll see you next week or on LinkedIn sometime.
And hopefully I'll have my mic back. All right, guys. Cheers. See you later.
Take care.